Right.
Our war garb is expressed in our cultural remembrance, right? From how when you repping your hood, you wearing your flag. Flags are European in origin. They not from over here. We used to wear it in our garb. Old Mississippian Wolf Tribe. He coming to the war dressed like a damn wolf.
Right.
Old Mississippian Bison Clan. He's coming to the war dressed like a buffalo. The Black Panther King. They coming to the war dressed in a Black Panther skin. Because that was their initiation rite for the times of war. We wasn't wearing that stuff on no day-to-day basis. We was dapper down. Ask them boys in New Orleans. That's where we used to manufacture our new dress styles out of New Orleans. But every tribe gave it their own swag. Ain't none of this stuff new.
Nope.
The remembrance got to come from where the fall took place. New York.
Yeah.
The Dutch. New Amsterdam became New Yorkshire, became New York. Right? So what has to happen? During the time of the awakening, the remembrance call has to come from the first place to fall to the foreign invasion. And then you end up with New York being the birthplace of modern hip hop, which traces back to the Mississippi Delta blues, to the old Mississippian clans who sang them stories on the front porch, entertaining Big Ma and the family. They call them stand-up comedians. We used to call them uncles on the porch.
Right.
Right? Because at nighttime, we didn't have no TV. We didn't listen to the radio. The family had a band in the barn. We had fires around which we told stories. The stories we told around our pumpkin festival became known as horror stories or scary stories.
Mm-hmm.
And only certain Greeks was qualified to tell the story because he could keep you hung on his words. And when he slammed his hand together like a door slamming while he's explaining it to you, you jump like you there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a training exercise on how to focus the mind. So everything we did served the educational purpose and the functional purpose. What we consider as entertainment, we used to use it to educate each other. Mm-hmm. They gave us education in what they call diction format. That means we being dictated to what to think. That's not what we used to do. We used to give knowledge by abstract format, open air education. Not four wall, Skinner box, Pavlovian bells response systems. Right? This is why you got professors, because all they doing is professing.
Right? Professor, no.
Right? Where the professor is the dictator. Because when you go to class, he's giving dictation. He's telling you how to think and what to think.
Right.
You have to write it down so you can parrot it back to make sure that you are taking the dictation properly. Straight up the wazoo.
Damn.
It's all in the lingo of the language when they're telling the story, but they don't know what they're telling you.
That's cold, boy. That's a cold piece. All right, that's my stop right there. I got a couple more, but we rolled a couple of them. Now I got a couple of questions I wrote down. Now, Rod, so I bet, like, you know me, I do a lot of study on the extraterrestrial stuff, and I connect the Rockefellers and these German guys back with this group of extraterrestrials called the Aldebarans, and it seemed like to me, I believe it's an agenda. I believe the Aldebarans is in on the agenda with these black Yaku Enlil gang. That I believe that some extraterrestrials reset us. Enlil and them reset us recently, like less than 100 years ago. What you think about that, Raw? That some extraterrestrial, because it's like they use laser weapons. Fires couldn't have burned, just burn all that
You
stuff.
remember earlier in the same dialogue, earlier in the show,
Okay.
I told you that a lot of this is the result of post-nuclear holocaust.
Okay.
We call them pyramid wars. When you talk about the primary points of activity from which the wars was fought, the bases were constructed under the pyramid construction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When we talk about the Manus Wars, now we're not talking about wars that's fought from the pyramids. We're talking about aerial warfare. When you look up the Gandiva is also called the Planet Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And the Gandiva is what we was having the pyramid wars when we had nuclear holocaust that caused the nuclear winter that we closing out the cycle of recovery from.
Yeah.
It was total annihilation. It's not the first time. Remember that show we did about the great human bottleneck?
Yeah.
Where all of it was only like 1,500 people left?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If it was only 1,500 people left, history should tell each one of their names.
Right.
That's not a lot of people.
No.
Yeah. History don't record their names. Mm. So you saying that everybody on Earth come from 150? From 1,500 people.
Numbers gonna line up.
Right. So where's the diversity in the genetics so vast if it's only 1,500 people and that was like 200-some thousand years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they call in people Neanderthals. Neanderthals was already gone.
Right.
Right? So we know they ain't Neanderthals. We walk on the same scale they use them to determine who a Neanderthal is. They have something called Homo sapien, Homo erectus, and Cro-Magnon. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Then the ones before that, you have your Australopithecus, right? Then you have your Gigantopithecus. You got your Zinjopithecus. All these can be looked up. Mm-hmm. Right? You have your Peking man. All these different genetic stocks of human don't exist no more. What happened to the genetics where those genetic blueprints was no longer available? Right? Then you got something called proconsul, which is a early Australopithecine, closely related to a chimpanzee. That's what they say Lucy was. 3.5 million years ago was the age of proconsul. But it was people back then. It's always been people like us on the planet. Mm-hmm. Now, when we look at them, we probably the ones that tore down the old civilization to fight the war. Before you have my house, I'll tear this SOB down. Then give it to you. We could have did it. But our responsibility is to reverse engineer the sacred drift. Remember, it's a Moorish paradigm. Right? If you reverse the sacred drift, you can then turn back the clock of destiny to read what was taking place in the era. Right? And the order of the round table tell you which angle to look at in order to see the center. Right? So when we understand the sciences behind what's being told in the literature, they telling both sides of the story. right? And now you have to look at it from the tribal side of the story instead of the settler side of the story. That's called a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is when you suddenly see something from a different direction. It changes the way you perceive what you saw. The whole paradigm shifts. What you might have thought originally came for your destruction ended up being your salvation. When your paradigm shifted, you was able to see it. But you was in the old paradigm, you was stuck in victim mode. Right? That's what they were socially engineering us to do. But now, when we putting it all back together and we showing the historical anomalies, the paper genocide, the cultural appropriation of our modern culture, why would you not think they wasn't appropriating our ancient culture back then? So then when you see who's the one that's appropriating our culture, then you get to see who the actual ones are that belong and who don't. We use our culture to teach spiritual lessons. So if they take the weaving job from the tribe that does the blankets, right? That's a spite to the Anasazi, which came with the Great Mother to teach them how to weave the baskets and weave the blankets and weave the clothes and sew with the needle, right? These are spiritual practices that serve a practical purpose in the community. So the blanket tribes come and give you a blanket to let you know they respect you and they love you and that they whatever they can do to protect you, they're gonna do it spiritually or physically. But then you got a whole another group that learn to sew with the needle and they gonna come and give you moccasins. Right? Because they what we call slipper clans. In the Spanish world, they got something called the chancla. But why do the Samoan Big Mamas have one too, but she don't call it a chancla? Right? And they do it over here. Mama gonna bust you upside the head with that shoe.
That's funny.
But it's a symbol of matriarchal authority. So when you get your blessings, they come in the form of the slippers. The slippers show that you walk the right path. And then they have messages in the tapestry of the item that they gifting you. And over time, the message reveals itself. Sometimes you instantly know when you see it because it might be tied to an emotional event that made them choose to honor you. You rescued the daughter of the chief from drowning by dropping what she was doing, diving into the river while it was raging. Right? So they become emotionally involved. So when you see the art on the blanket telling you a story about rescuing somebody out the river, it's all told in the story of the art. So there's stuff like that. But all of that has been appropriated now to industrial manufacturing on a wholesale level, using less than proper quality of material, using substitutes and artificials in place of originals and things that harmonize with the frequency and energy of the intentions that's infused in the product. Right? So you see, they told you about blending fabrics and they booked the Bible. If blending fabrics was always okay, they wouldn't have a restriction on it in their book that's supposed to go back 2,000 years. Right? Well, why are they concerned about blending fabrics? When you go do what they call fabric frequency testing, then it'll make sense.
Why natives built certain things, or we did certain things. It makes sense.
Everything had a reason.
I got another question for you, Rod. So the free energy thing, they made something about the free energy that we had free energy. Like we ain't need no money because we had like most of everything was free. And then whatever you needed, you really just traded for it. But then when Rockefeller come, all of a sudden now coal and oil. So could you go in? Why they didn't want us to have free energy? Because they couldn't charge us, they couldn't control us if we had everything free, right?
You see the movie Sinners?
Sinners. Seems like I heard that movie.
Michael B. Jordan is the twins. Smoking Stack.
Nah, I hadn't seen that one.
All right, we need to watch it for this part.
Right now.
They build a juke joint from an old sawmill, and they open up the juke joint, and then you have they coming in there. The people coming to the juke joint. Some of them is spending Federal Reserve notes, but then some of them is spending what we call plantation currency. Now, they didn't want the plantation currency. The twins didn't. They wanted the Federal Reserve notes. But in that little area around there, you can spend the plantation dollar just like any other money. Mm-hmm. Those were the family banks that they call plantation banks. They issue plantation money. They didn't pay slaves. Why would you have plantation money when you don't pay slaves? Think about that. Let that sink in. You pay workers, employees. Yeah. Right? You pay family members for their help and their support on the farm. Right? Mm-hmm. And because your goods are still going to sell at the market, the type of currency you use for your currency is represented in the value of the product you produce. The reason why they turned it into plantation currency, because they don't want you to understand banking. You got to remember, Frederick Douglass single-handedly funded a bank in I think it was North or South Carolina. Yeah. Where did he get that kind of money from if he was a damn slave? Right. He was a king, actually. Prince. Right. So now he get out of slavery and pass everybody in the country. That don't even make sense. Nah, he that was King George III's son. And then he beat up the slave master. Remember that? Yeah. And didn't get lynched. Yeah. That don't make sense either. Not with the narrative we've been fed. Yeah. His whole story becomes questionably fantastic. Yeah. Based on what they told us about the era, the temperature and climate of the people of the era, there's no way he whooped the slave master and went home and went to bed and woke up the next morning with no problems. Hell no. It's not going to happen. Unless they telling us a goddamn lie. Less happened in Rosewood and they killed the whole damn town. Mm-hmm. Rosewood was more than just that incident. It was Black Wall Street in Florida. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. They were self-sufficient. They had their own currency. Right. You got to remember, they was funding their own banks with pennies. They the ones created insurance for burials. Our ancestors 125, 150 years ago. Because the land was being strangled by the fiat note. Back then, they were treasury bond notes called greenbacks. Mm-hmm. Right? We forget about this. Mm-hmm. Those were treasury bond notes. And they was tied to a federal savings bond system that gave the payout on the notes value in order to generate a positive energy cash flow.
Hey, it closed up. About the trust. What is it called? The acute trust.
The SQEV trust.
Yeah, let's get that pulled up real quick. All right, Rod.
Okay, so this is SQEV Act 1666. Enacted in 1666, although it received royal assent on February the 8th, 1667. See where it say royal assent? That means that it was approved by somebody with the stroke of royalty. Yeah. Right. It say the act addresses the legal challenge of proving the death of people who had disappeared, especially after events like the Great Plague and Great Fire of London in 1665 and 1666. It allowed for a legal declaration of death for those who had been missing for 7 years to resolve issues related to their property and inheritance.
Machiavelli in this.
Right? Now, pay attention to what they're telling us. They say it's allowing for somebody to declare somebody legally dead after 7 years. That coincides with the Catholic Church saying, give us your child for the first 7 years, and we will tell you the man he'll become. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it takes 7 years for them to claim your estate. Mm-hmm. Right? This ties back to the papal bull that the Pope put out. I forgot the name of it. I think it might be the Indica Terra, but it's one of the papal bulls, and it says that the Pope is the caretaker of all of the people of the earth because they were all imbeciles and unable to attend and attain to their own affairs before God. That's the Pope wrote that in the papal bull. So this right here is, okay, now that we got everybody's asset, how do we organize it? How do we utilize it? And how do we prevent them from ever knowing about it and accessing it? Right? So now they putting everything in what they call a trust, right?
Go ahead.
So the trust is assuming that everybody is a juvenile. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So now, once you activate the trust, you don't activate the trust like you do any other trust in a system. Because this has to do with royal rights. So now you understand the bloodlines of the Holy Grail was telling you how to map out who's who on the planet Earth in relation to the SQEV Act of 1666 that created the SQEV Trust. Mm-hmm. Now, this was where they generated the trusts to hold all our stuff in that they was not allowed to trade or use, but they could use it for collateral under what we call a fiat levy and lien system under the salvage rights that's tied to the recovery of the proceeds of the person that they declared dead and lost at sea, civilly mortis.
Black people.
Right. Now, in comes 1929, right? Noble Drew Ali claimed the trust.
Yep. 28, right here. Here you go, right here.
1928 Havana Convention, the Sixth International Conference of American States, resulted in 11 conventions on various topics, including the rights and duties of states during civil strife, maritime neutrality, and the Pan-American Union. Key agreements included rules for granting asylum, restrictions on belligerent warships in neutral ports,
Wow.
and provisions for protecting civilian aircraft in international navigation. The United States also ratified several other international conventions that were adopted at the conference, such as the Kellogg-Briand Pact. Any more other?
No, that's it. That's it. I didn't find a piece where it said Noble Drew Ali. But you just read something that was interesting right here. Belligerent warships, neutral port. That's what happened when they crashed their ship on ours, right?
Right. So now, remember you was reading something to me this earlier on the phone about them crashing the ship in the street.
Yeah. About the I think
Is that in here?
let me see. Did I put it in here? The Chicago fires. Tearing deep. It might not be in here. That might be the last one that I couldn't get off my email. It started acting funny.
No, this is before I sent you anything. You had told me you was reading something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't. I couldn't go back to it to screenshot it. I tried to go back to it to find it, and I couldn't screenshot it. I didn't screenshot the piece when I was talking to you. I forgot to screenshot.
So remember the architecture on the ground where the tight ass stairs was going to that. Remember that clip? The lady was looking at talking about the architecture.
Yeah, that's right. The underground
house. We looked at like Venice, Italy. Right. This how you able to get a ship down the street. Think about that for a minute. You can't get no ship down no damn street unless you're going through a waterway.
Right.
A lot of our old cities was built by waterways because we used to use it for transportation and to move stuff because it's easier to float it than it is to put it on a cart and roll it.
That's right.
Right. So we had a lot of our streets was waterways and we got around by boats. Right. If you could Google Mississippian riverboat. They'll come out. Old boats we used to use.
Hey, I got a clip in here. I don't think on it, bro. On the
I think we did a class and showed you already.
Yeah, it's
the Coral Castle.
Yeah, this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he ain't had no heavy equipment. He used this thing right here, supposedly some kind of gravitation device.
Yeah, he had these things they call cones. That the way that it works is it vibrates. The vibration causes the denseness of the matter to become neutralized. Mm-hmm. Before we knew what the Higgs boson was, we knew it was using something as leverage to neutralize the weight, but we didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. When they discovered the Higgs boson, then you were able to fill in the blank.
We took the monies and bought the good food, and because where they live at, they don't have access to good grocery stores at all. Yeah. So and they do the best that they can with what they have. But the one thing that I did, I bought the food and prepared it, and then took it over there. And the juice would last for a week, and then I would come back the next week and bring more juice. Buy the things that she's asked me to buy before I get there. So the money has been used very wisely. When we packed up all of his albums and all of his books and all of that stuff, we had to buy totes. Yeah. Because he had so many. And we organized and made everything simple. Osiris and Monica's son went up in the attic, and they bought everything down that was in the attic that Linda wanted them to do that, and we packed all that up and the stuff that she wanted to be thrown away. We made sure that they were disposed of before we left. We've always I made sure that he had sheets and stuff, and every now and then I might be able to just stick my head in and bring something, but it won't be like it used to be because, like I said, my schedule won't allow me to do so.
But we know that you're gonna be pulled on from 1,000 different directions. So as long as he have a means where we can get stuff to him, like you got set up now, we go through his sister-in-law, and we know that that's a approved way to get right. That's an approved outlet to get donations to him. That helps a lot.
If you would, Bridget or someone to send that to Chief, that information so that he can also display that on wherever he goes, and everybody else to do the same to make sure the monies are going to that 202 number for him. Okay, so if we could get that to Chief, that would be great. And I'll make sure you get his number so that you can do that. Chief, have you taken a look at our new website that Christina and Bridget have, along with other folks? I don't know whoever else. So please, if I did not call your name, please call your name so I can recognize you. But if you would, please share your screen, and let's give my son Chief a tour of what you lovely ladies have done for the nation thus far, and also send that link to him so that he can share with everyone else as well.
Sister Bridget, are you going to pull that up, or you need me to?
Pulling it up now. This one.
Send your brother home now. You gonna smack y'all sisters around now.
I know it's with love. I know it's with love, so I definitely take it.
You're lucky the whole camera can't see me, or else I'll jump up and spin around in a circle.
Yeah.
Look what I can do. I know how to do some stuff. That was amazing, though. That website is amazing. That took a minute.
It is. So you see what we've been doing. We've been busy, and
I wasn't worried about it, Empress. I know what you was doing. You ain't it's just other people that's on the outside think they know stuff, and you know what it is when people assume.
Yeah.
Right. That's not. I know what you was doing. We can't always do the same thing at the same time. If everybody did the same thing at the same time, we wouldn't get nowhere.
No.
Sometimes I gotta take the low ground while you take the high ground. Sometimes I gotta take the high ground while you take the low ground. But one thing that got to be done is the whole job got to get done, not just part.
Yeah.
And we can't always be on the same part of the job because we got different stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then it's also to let people know where they at.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people get bad because they don't see me, but they got. Remember, I'm not hiding. I'm not in the dark nowhere. I'm still doing what I'm doing. It's just that you want me to come to somebody else's house and try to change what they're doing, and that's not gonna happen. Especially not at Big Mama house.
No, definitely not.
So sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do, and it don't always look the way people want it to look. And look how it happened. Life is life. Life ain't finna say, okay, I'm gonna stop being life today because I just don't feel like showing up. I haven't seen
Exactly.
it happen yet. I haven't seen a lot of people that refuse to participate in life and check out, but I ain't never seen life say, well, I'm not playing today.
Yeah. I know that's right, because life gonna go on with it without you getting up and being a part of it.
Look, it's always pulling somebody off the bench.
Always.
Starting
Always.
players fall all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it was a bunch of giants in this field that we in.
I agree.
But they,
And people don't know how much energy it takes for us to stay on the battlefield for them. Because it ain't for us, because I'm good. You know, really in my life is, I don't have no issues. I'm going to be honest, I really don't. I got a good consort. I don't have no money problems. And, not because of y'all that I don't have, it's because of my own and what we got. And I don't have no bill problems or none of that. So I can focus on helping the world, or helping the people, not the world, but helping Earth to replenish. And that's another word that we got to stop doing, talking about the world, because that's what we been, y'all. We got to now start speaking Earth, replenishing Earth, because Earth has suffered because we haven't been tending to it. We've been busy running in the world.
since we're going back to the matriarch, I'm giving you something that's going to help.
Okay.
The world is Earl and earth is her. Put it where it go.
I love it.
The world is Earl, but the earth is her.
You like that, Christina?
Yes, Mama. I love that.
Yeah. You know.
Look, Christina did a whole commercial for the for the website. I'm sitting over there like this is a whole infomercial.
Yeah. They call it what y'all, because Tracy and Frida and Miss Patolo, they set that thing right there. So when Christina them took it, they just took it and put it on more kryptonite, because they started out with Tracy and Christine, Tracy and Frida and Miss Patolo. And then, and then they just took it on to the next level. So we want to give them the honor and praise and bring them forth to tell them thank you for starting that ball rolling, because they the one got the ball rolling based on Jaguar in the beginning, Copper and Helena and them were all involved. And then when Helena and Copper left, Tracy and them took it on to the next level. And then when Christine and them came, they took it on up to that level right there. So every hand that had a part in what you seeing right now to this level right here. So please, everybody, we want to acknowledge Frida and Tracy and Christina. Patalo and in the beginning, Copper and Helena. I believe in giving people, even if they're not here, believe in giving people they kudos, and it all started out with Jaguar telling me we needed a United Nations matriarch website to demonstrate that we can do government at the highest realm on the matriarch level. And that was from you telling me I needed to get the matriarch together. And I heard you. And so I wanted to share that with you tonight and bring you forth so that you can see what you have inspired Big Mama, because people don't know that, we found each other after I got the Lodal title and all, and I just happened to be laying on my couch, probably like everybody else, ready to use some kind of way. But I rented you laying on the couch relaxing because I figure I can't do no more until it's time because I was just doing what I needed to do to stay afloat until I could get my next, know what I need to do next. And there it was. You appeared on Dr. G's show, and I got in touch with her, and it was, magic ever since. And you didn't want to answer the call, but I told her, I said, you give him this and you tell him that I said I'm the one he looking for. And show him why he looking for me. I'm glad that she finally finagled you to
But it wasn't hard because Dr. G don't call me for everything every time somebody come to her. So the way she sounded, I said, I gotta answer this. I gotta at least look into it and see what it is. And then what threw me off is like everything that I did, you had the paperwork receipt that was coded by a set of numbers that tied both our work together. And I'm like, I thought I was doing this by myself. Why all these numbers matching like this? But as I got one on through it, I was like, oh shh. I was like, okay, let me know then. Because only certain people is supposed to receive certain stuff.
Would you please explain that to folks? Because, I've been real more laid back about me having the allodial tide, and people have been more celebrating the fact that I do. When I'm just laid back and it's casual to me. I don't know how am I supposed to feel, and I guess I'm growing into the seat because I've been doing the work, so that's what I've been focused on, the work. People have been talking about how powerful my seat is, and but I'm humble with it. It's a power seat, and
So look,
everybody, as people have tried to usurp it and try to control it, and they can't because it wasn't given to them. Because that's the reason why they wasn't giving it to, but it was given to me. So I'm going to yield and let you expound on that.
everything going on now was about the blood and the right. We don't got to write who he is to nobody. Our blood tell everything. The blood right is you having a heritable right to reclaim an asset that's in your family's lineage, heirs property. And for them to surrender key documents to showing you who the rightful heir is, they can't give Empress Redbird stuff to Chief Warhorse, and they can't give Chief Warhorse stuff to Empress Redbird. They can't give Empress Verdiasi stuff to Khadijah Farrakhan, and they can't give Khadijah Farrakhan stuff to Empress Verdiasi. If they do that, they fail at their job as caretakers and guardians of what they call in the secret societies the right. In order to get certain information, they know who we are, but we the ones don't know. And they tell us if the son make this move over here and it was the correct move, they got to give mom a piece of paper to show it. When I said in 2019, July the 6th, we going to cancel all of these by blood right, all of their treaties for two reasons: fraud and non-performance. We've never seen a treaty signed by them that they honor. But the tribes have honored every treaty. Right? So the reason they never honored them, which brings in the fraud, they never had any intentions of honoring them when they made them. So they made them under false pretenses. And they thought that under the contracts that they made, the ones of us that's not under the contracts and didn't make any deals with them was supposed to just automatically be bound to the contract. We not. But the rightful heirs show up and make the assertion in the public domain, then there's a paper transaction that they made. Because we don't have to put it on paper. We can speak a thing. right? But the system that we was under was writing everything in paper, and the reason they had to do it because they like to cheat. And the only way to keep a cheater honest is keep a rule book open. And in the rule book, they gave it to us as what we call metaphysical information, right? Secret society information. How are they secret societies and all of their information is in the public? Because most people don't care about their secrets. Because they don't know that the secrets is the linchpin to your oppression. That's why they say if you want to hide something from us to put it in the book. And then they put all of the information in the books because they know once they said that we don't like to read, we not going to read. Or people that are oral tradition don't read the written word as well as they read the signs and the symbols. Now you have to fuse the two because you got a cheating enemy that's had to be kept honest by the written word. This is why they need a loyal title to stop the wrong people from getting a hold of it. And this is why they need deeds and trust documents. We didn't need all that.
Nope.
We knew who stuff belonged to who. Right? If I go down the street 5 houses down and steal my neighbor dog and bring it home, my daddy gonna be like, boy, you better take that damn dog back to them people. They live right down there. Don't you think I've seen that dog before? Right? So we know who stuff belonged to who. But the ones who was cheaters was forced anything that you want to do, you have to either write it down or you can't do it. We made them write it down, not because we follow the written tradition. We made them write it down because they follow the cheating tradition. So since you want to cheat, document your cheating. And then when we look back in with hindsight, it's 2020. When you look back and see what they did and what they said and how much they match, then you know who done what. So it's imperative to know that when certain people get certain information, certain documentation, certain seals, certain badges, you can't give it to the wrong person. Can't give it to that ends the game prematurely. Right? Part of the what I would say the thrill of reclaiming what was ours is preparing yourself to prove it. You had to go through the training. You had to go through the erudition. You had to go through the isolation, the meditation, the self-analysis, the comparative analysis of between the self and others, right? You got to make sure that you don't just believe in Jesus because it's written in a book that you should believe in Jesus. You got to know how to be able to use your spiritual self and your mind together to even contact this Jesus real. Because anybody can write somebody in a book and call them God and say they're real. But when you start doing the research and you can unravel the concealment, what was they hiding? Right? With a paper trail that's clear as day that they wrote, I didn't write it. That means I can read through their BS. I can see through their lies. Not because I'm better than anybody else. It's just that I done seen them lie so many times that when they tell that lie, like I heard that lie yesterday. That ain't even a good lie. That's an old lie there. You got to get me with some fresh kind of lies. You can't keep doing the same thing on me, and I'm not going to recognize you. You just conned me 6 weeks ago. You think I'm going to fall for the same kind again? No. So this is why they had stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is why they had to write stuff down, and this is why only certain people can get certain information to validate who they are to the rest of the people. Right? Because the system got to eventually give it to us anyway. And the system had to give us a way to prove who we are by identifying the rightful people that's in the rightful places. And if they make the right move, they go get a right answer. If they make the wrong move, they gonna get a wrong answer. It takes you back to the drawing board. Go back to the last place you knew you was right and start over from there.
So there you have it. So I got the receipt and he saw the receipts and we've been together ever since. And he's taken me from point to point and things that I need to do as the Empress. And I have managed to fulfill all the obligations that I'm supposed to fill with the allodial title for Turtle Island for North, South, and Central America, y'all. I have the allodial title to it. The first allodial title was the first 3 million acres to the claim, which was all of North, South, Carolina, and Virginia. Okay, and that means that the White House, the Federal Reserve, and all that shenanigans sit on our land. Everything is ours. And I was the owner. I was the rightful heir to it. So guess what? I gave it to the people. I didn't have to do that, y'all. I just want you to just fathom your mind that I didn't have to do that because I was the rightful heir and the owner of all of it. And as quiet as it's been kept, and the more they shadow ban me on all these, I should have more people to be coming and hearing what I have to say as the Empress. And they keep shadow banning me and trying to do this right here. Doing all of, but it ain't gonna work because it ain't gonna change nothing. I have the allodial title. I'm the only one that's got a sovereign state certificate. Everybody else is not real. I'm the real deal. I'm the real state, sovereign state. Okay, that's sitting. The only one that's got a banking redemption seal. The only one that's got a notary seal. And have marshal badges. I have everything that they would deem to think that I don't have a right to have, but they ain't saying nothing. I walk right in there and get anything I want. But I just wanted to let everybody know that, yes, it is me. Yes, I am her. But I love the people enough to give it back and let them enjoy it. Because what good would it be for me to have it and know everybody else is in degradation and under the hands of them? I could have been laying somewhere on the white sandy beaches and having all kind of stuff going on for me. But you know what? I chose to suffer with you all so I could help you come out of your suffering. I experienced it. I didn't have to. Believe me, I didn't have to do none of the stuff that I have done on behalf of the people. I love you all, and I love to see things flourish, and I'm up for the task. So I'm glad I'm only as good as my staff and the people. And you people have taken good care of me in my position over the past at least 2 years. It was rough. I put myself through a lot to experience, to know what you all were experiencing. I didn't have to experience no bankruptcy. I didn't have to experience losing the house. I didn't have to experience doing none of that because I never had no issue paying my bills. But I had to suffer like y'all so that I would know how to help you. And still, I got people now still trying to take my seat. Trying to go behind my back, making backroom deals, and thinking that's going to work. And I've been assured that whatever folks think they got from me, and there's been plenty that been to in my home, rambling and all that, and put their hands on stuff. They ain't stopped nothing because I'm registered in London as the rightful owner and the heir of everything. Now, how I ended up like that is because I have the ISIS wings on my back. And I have proven time and time again that I have them, that I don't have to prove it anymore because I do have the wings of ISIS, and I came to bring the law of my art, and I here to bring divine order. And that's what I'm doing, and keeping the peace while I'm doing it. And I'm doing a damn great job because I'm going to pat myself on the back because I've had to swim through a whole bunch of minutia, a whole bunch of stabbing in my back, slapping me around and taking stuff from me and trying to, act like I'm not fit to be where I'm at. Jealousy never got nobody nowhere. If you think you want to be walking in my shoes, and I'm talking about righteous shoes, because you ain't gonna walk in no righteous shoes if you ain't right. You'll give them back. And those who do walk in them that are righteous, they say, I can't make this journey. Let me give her back these shoes. This ain't no glamorous job. This is a dirty job. I don't have a life. I'm grateful that I got a man that understands that he might not always get what he needs from me because of my position that I got to take care of. And he's okay with that because he said he's here to help me get that done. So we don't have a regular man and woman relationship like normal people. We still ain't been on our honeymoon yet. Did y'all hear me? We still haven't been on our honeymoon yet. We worked on our wedding day, and we worked afterwards, and all of that. And our unity day, not wedding, our unity day, that's their language. And we still going and still trying to, getting to know each other while all this is unfolding. That sacerdotal seat ain't no joke. And my son made sure that sacerdotal seat got to me. That's why he sent me to hit Bobby, because he was sitting there waiting for me. And Bobby had my seat. And I brought it home, fam, and sat in it. So I'm grateful that I'm chosen for this task, because rest assured, you or that you gave money to, or that you believed in what they were saying. I'm not that one. I'm the one that's here to bring the order. And divine order is what I'm going to bring with the help of my son and others like you. Ashe.
And the funny thing to me, Empress, is somebody think they're gonna take something from you. If they was gonna steal it, that's the shit that I wouldn't want to steal. This is what I'm telling you. They come around there and think they slick, gonna try to take something from you. They got forces at play that already seen them coming, seen them when they was trying, and now the big payback. You can't under the certain circumstances we under, in the roles that Creator got us playing in this whole dynamic. They can try to take it if they want to. It's like I don't know. It's a little skinny bodybuilder dude named Anatoly, and his mop, the mop he used, weigh about 100 and something pounds, right? So while he be running around pushing his push mop, he go to pick up the heavy weight. He asked this big old muscle bound dude to hold the weight. He can't hold it. His muscles ain't trained to hold the weight that Anatoly hold it. And then he get down there and show him that what you thought you was doing ain't nothing because I'm a third of your size and I can do all of this. And you struggling. Right? It's the same thing. It's like somebody trying to pick up Thor's hammer and they ain't worthy. Trying to pull the Excalibur out the stone and they ain't got the right in the blood. It's not going to happen. You never have the internal coding in your genetics to take something from one of us. I tell people all the time, but if you get something on me, you didn't get over on me. I gave you what you was allowed to have.
That's right. That's what I've been doing. I freely give it. Because that's what we do. The righteous will freely give it and don't even think of nothing of it because it whatever you came for, we'll give it to you because that's what our nature is. That's what we're here for, to give it. We're not here to try to hold it back. It's mine or none of that. But what I do want to caution people about is what he said. If you didn't hear it, I'm going to repeat about them genetic codes. I'm the one got the banking redemption codes in my genetics. And I've proven that upon without a shadow of a doubt. You all have seen my genetics from Philadelphia. And I have the genetic codes of the banking codes, the ACH. I came with them. So regardless of if somebody is kin to me, sister, brother, or whatever, they didn't come here with it. I did. I came here with the wings. As verification, she the one. Now everybody knew I was the one except for me. And I've having to learn everything. And thank goodness I got with my son, because probably before that, the men weren't telling me nothing. They gave me the black book. They gave me everything in there, certificates, everything that belonged to me, the claim and everything. And by the way, she have that with her, my claim. I'm telling that live. I don't know what she gonna do with it, but she has it. But it's okay, because like you said, my codes, my genetic codes, when the time comes, they're gonna have to come get me, because I'm the only one can activate whatever it is that need to be activated.
Look, they can send an imposter or an impersonator. And when they run their fingerprints and they ain't you, they going straight to prison, and they're not gonna pass go and collect $200. They're going straight down there where all them crooked politicians went to get more. So if they think they're gonna pull some slick stuff and get over on you, that's, hey, create your own condition. I'm gonna watch. I don't want no parts of it. Don't create your condition. You can't take nothing from the chosen ones. You might think you taking something from us. You not. Nobody not gonna get nothing out of me I'm not willing to give them.
Yep.
Right? And I don't mind giving you nothing as long as you don't think you taking nothing from me. You know? My father taught me a couple of...
I gave you freely. Go ahead.
My father taught me a couple of key points when he was teaching me about money. He say, don't put good money on top of bad money. First thing first. That means that if you done already lent somebody $5 and they come to you and they want to borrow another $5, I understand that. I can't help you. I would help you, but you haven't paid me the last loan back yet. I can't get that to you. The other thing he told me, that if you're going to need it back, you can't afford to give it. If you're going to need it back, you can't afford to lend it. Lending is a